I promise you, just stay tuned to this channel. You're gonna love it. If you are here to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button now. Let's get it done. I have come to Kigali, the capital of Rwanda, to learn more about the genocide in 1994. It all began when the plane of the president, a Hutu man, was shot down above the Kigali airport in 1994. The genocide is also known as the genocide against the Tutsi. It was a massacre and a mass slaughter. Some 800,000 people were killed in just 100 days. Grace Mukasekuru is a survivor.
I pretended I was dead. And in that process, when I was still on the ground, a young man was killed. And this young man used to work for our home, but he was also a Tutsi. They killed him and he fell on top of me. And so I lay there, I pretended to be dead. I tried my hardest so they would not notice that I was still alive, I was still breathing. And it helped that it was at night. I think it was not easy for them to see, or maybe they were not as alert to see who's dead or alive in that time. So I survived that night thinking I'm the only one who survived. It was so quiet. So they killed, and after they killed, they went to my uncle's home to go take things out of the home. Because they used to usually first kill the people and then they take their things. So while they were taking things out of the home, they heard the baby cry. My aunt had a baby on her back. They killed her, but the baby did not die. So they came back to finish, that's their term. They said to finish him off. They came, they killed him, and they left. And I remained on that ground for some time until I felt that it was safe to move. I moved into the home, into the house. I stayed there until the morning when the sun came up, and realized, like, seeing the number of dead in the compound. And then I heard a sound. I heard like footsteps. And the footsteps was my younger sister, Letitia. She was not hurt, but she had been behind the house the whole time. She came from behind the house, and the look on her face is shock. I just remember vividly, like, her face being in shock. And then we heard another sound, and then we were both, scared. And then we realized my brother also survived, but he had injuries. His hand was almost cut off. His shoulder had a wound from, like, I think a spear. And then my cousins, two of my cousins also survived, but survived with really bad head injuries. He was cut so many places in the head that eventually he.
When the killing stopped, the country was devastated. Survivors were physically damaged. Families were decimated. Their homes and community destroyed. About 2 million people fled the country, including many of the Hutu ethnic group perpetrators. 1 million people were displaced within the country. For the survivors, 75,000 were children who lost one or both parents. Today, Rwanda has tried hard to get back up. In fact, Rwanda is on enviable growth trajectory.